We'll warn you right now, things may get a little fucked up and crazy.
What's even worse is I had a kid come in, and I was shitting in the urinal, and he came in, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
But if that's something you're into, then Mikes and Men is the show for you. The boys are gonna cover it all without holding back. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you could learn a thing or two. It's Mikes and Men, only on CBW.
No Outlet Live.
Hey, I'm Jay Remy, host of No Outlet Live. If you're in a podcast that explore any and everything, check us out. We stream anywhere you listen or watch podcasts, or just type No Outlet Live, one word, in your Google search bar to find the show. Live Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. No Outlet Live, your road to boredom ends here. Do you like Tessa? Do you think this will be a date that can last?
Well, she's not very articulate. Guardian Roadside Solutions is ready to help with your roadside emergencies serving the greater Cleveland area. They have the knowledge and experience to get you back on the move quickly with staff available 24/7 to help with flat tires, tire damage, changes, fuel delivery, vehicle lockouts, dead battery, or new battery installs. If you find yourself or someone you know in this situation, call a Guardian at 440-833-6000.
96% of adults go to work hungover the day after a holiday party. New Year's has the worst statistics, with almost 58% of highway deaths being alcohol related. 40% of highway deaths during the holidays are alcohol related. This holiday, stay home, stay at a friend's or a family's house. Be safe this holiday season. Don't drink and drive.
And stranded, you turned your back, retracted the hand that you reached out with. This ain't the same world we once grew up in. And I ain't the same person that I once was anymore. Myself, tell me, eventually everything will be alright. Somebody, please help me, save me from myself, and tell me, eventually, that everything will be alright. I never listen when my heart tells me to run, trapped between the cracks and seams hidden from the sun. I'm going blind. The cost of courage fucking hurts. Sometimes just existing's too hard. The drugs don't work as well anymore. A chain to mud stuck in the backyard. I feel vengeance under my flesh. Free me from this rain. Who can really be counted on to spare us from more pain? So somebody, please help me, save me from myself, and tell me eventually that everything will be alright. Somebody, please help me, save me from myself, and tell me eventually that everything will be alright.
Chapter systems are offline.
Number one. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
No Outlet Live with your favorite host on the North Coast,
Jay Remy,
and the ant on a rant, Anthony Miano.
Andrew isn't gonna have to punch you because I will.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
Welcome back to another episode of No Outlet Live, brought to you by Guardian Roadside Solutions and Flat House Press. You can find our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, the iHeartRadio app, CastBox, and more. Right now, we are currently live on Twitch. That is the new place for you to be able to find this show live, but you still can find your episodes on YouTube. You'll be able to find the visual podcast there. And newly, we are going to be having our the visual version of our show broadcasted on Spotify and Anchor. We just got that added into our host collective, I guess you would say. And I'm accompanied by the Ant on a Rant, Anthony Miano.
Yeah, somebody has to keep his ego in check.
And that would be you, sir. And I would like to introduce anybody that's new to the show, everybody from Discord. Holler at your boy. Leave your comments. We can see them live. We'll interact with you and whatnot. Come check us out. And
seriously, we'll address any comment on here.
We will address it, no matter how vulgar it gets.
Yeah, and I'd like to extend a special shout out to our foreign listeners, specifically if the one listener I'm aware of, that I've ever been aware of from Bangladesh is still with us. Thank you for staying.
And don't forget that we have all of our listeners on KZTube from Russia or whatever stealing our show.
Yeah, I think Russia is a little too preoccupied with other things right now.
I don't know if they are. I mean, they got our show on their own website, and they corrected all of our descriptions of the show.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit the last time.
So a little bit ago, before we got going and started with the show, you were talking to me about The Batman.
I was. I gotta say, I liked it. I think Robert Pattinson is solidly moving away from that whole Twilight thing. I never watched any of those movies, but it's my understanding that the story was shitty and it wasn't his fault because nobody...
All right, not too many spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well, let me just say, the story it is very dark, and I don't just mean the plot. And just to make sure no one gets accidentally offended, none of the cast members were performing in blackface.
So when you brought this up, I had recently seen a video of somebody. They watched all of the credits, and I'm just gonna show you guys this video that I found of at the end of the credits, it directs you to something. So let's check it out.
Is that it?
Fuck off.
I told you,
No.
What did they say?
So
We'll take
this
you to
is
this website right after it. So while you just wait for it, it will just come up after it's done.
at the end of the credits. This isn't actually a good video detailing it like the one I originally saw, but at the end of the credits, it flashes a website and it's kind of blurry, but people have been directed to this website or went and looked it up, and it does what they're showing you here.
We'll come up with click here. So you click on that, and then I've already deciphered the code. So and then after that, I've already put in everything and what it actually means. So I think I'm gonna win a reward.
Yeah. So it said something is coming. It said you don't think that this is the end of it, do you? And all of that kind of fun stuff.
Well,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Of course this isn't the end. You didn't hear about the recent legislation?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so there was a law passed dictating no one is allowed to release a comic book movie of any kind in the United States without plans in place for multiple sequels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the director of the Joker movie from 2017, well, he received death threats for just making it a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
actually, he didn't, but that was believable for a second, wasn't it?
I mean, who doesn't get death threats for everything that they do anymore?
Well, I literally did mean that as a joke, but the point was that it was that outlandish. You know what I mean? Anyway, lost my train of thought. I know, I'm surprised I have any track left.
Me too. I lost your train of thought myself.
Yeah.
So let's jump into some video. Why don't we? Let me share my screen with you guys. Yes. This is something that you see on the cartoons and never thought possible. This guy throws a snowball and it grows as it goes down this mountain.
I wonder if that's how the wheel was invented, or at least the idea.
That would be crazy, right?
Yeah, like
I didn't know that you could actually do that.
I never would have imagined it. It looks like something.
Look how big it gets. It like becomes like 6 foot in no time.
Yeah, it looks like something Wile E. Coyote might try to kill the Roadrunner.
Yeah, it says at the top, I've only seen this in cartoons.
Yeah. I've actually never seen that in a cartoon.
No? You haven't seen it where like something rolls and like collects everything around it?
Well, no, this one, like, it consolidated and it went from like
a little snowball into a giant disc of snow.
It was like if a fat teenager both lost a lot of weight and grew taller at the same time. That's the closest thing I can think of to what it looks like. Yeah, good for him. I wonder if that guy knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was an A+ move he just did, and to get it on film. That's pretty slick. Now check out this video.
Did
you see that flop? Look at this. They're playing a little contact soccer, hip bump.
You remember that WWE wrestler, Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah.
That was like something he would do. He had that thing where the referee would get distracted and he would throw a chair at his opponent who would catch it, and then he would fall down before the referee.
That was like a wrestling flop, how she just did that. It was like all them videos you see LeBron faking and flopping around.
Yeah,
because she hip checked the hell out of this girl over here.
Yeah, but it looked like the girl that's on the ground, the one with number 9 on the back of her jersey. It looked... Okay, you remember there's this old Star Trek episode where Captain Kirk fights this little creature, or excuse me, lizard creature out in the middle of the desert, and because of the rubber suit being restrictive, there's this part where he picks up this rock and throws it at the lizard. It stuns him a little bit, bounces off him, hits the ground, and when you hear the noise, and then the Gorn, that's the name of that species.
The Gorn.
Yeah, then he just kind of, it's like hit noise, and then he kind of does it like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to act like I got hit by a rock.
Yeah, that's it. That's crazy the way this girl flopped. Because hold on, let me play a little bit. Right here, boom, heavy hip check. Yeah. Number 9 hits this girl in the orange shirt with a heavy hip check. So the girl in the orange shirt, she gives her like a little fake kick, like a warning kick kind of after this. You see that?
Yeah.
Where she gave like that little fake kick. But this girl waves down the ref, and then flops when he blows the whistle.
Yeah, and the ref was probably like, really?
Yeah, that flop really got me in my feels.
That's some badly executed bad acting.
Let's see what else I got in here.
Oh!
Hold on.
Okay, it says, what's that under the TikTok logo? The most civilized...
The most civilized confrontation, laugh emoji. Now check this out.
Oh! Wow!
You alright?
Yeah, I think you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, and you're not using a crosswalk.
You're right.
Carry on.
he really settled pretty quick for that, didn't he? He was like, well, all right.
Yeah, it's
Carry
almost,
on.
That's almost what you would expect from the British.
Right.
Yeah, like when
Okay. Now, do you watch combat sports? UFC, boxing?
You know, I actually practice that stuff rather than
But
watch it.
you don't watch it?
No.
So you've never heard of Paige Van Zandt?
Oh, I have.
Oh, yeah. She's a little smoke show, isn't she? And she's killer. She will kill you.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, especially because I'm, unlike most of the men in that sport, I'm the same size as she is.
I found a video of this girl doing a training exercise with the military.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. He's got to take off the jacket because it's about to get hot and heavy in here.
And if we weren't worried about copyright strikes, we would be blasting a certain Nelly song on cue right after he said that.
It's getting hot in here.
In the event Nelly or Mr. Haynes is watching, I know it's unlikely. Would you mind if we used your song like that from time to time, like when appropriate?
I think he's dealing with the problems of him showing his dick on Instagram.
He is? Because
yeah.
I thought he was like that's the thing with him and some other celebrities, especially with recording artists, that like I won't hear anything from them or about them for years, and I'll just assume they've.
No, he was just all over the news and everything because he accidentally leaked a homemade sex video on Instagram.
Right. Accidentally.
Well, a lot of people are making fun of him because he is not well endowed.
Yeah. Wow, this brings to mind one of his song lyrics that's looking ironic right now. Can you guess which one that might be?
The one where he talks about him having a little penis? I'm not familiar.
No. She only wants me for my pimp juice.
Oh, pimp juice.
Or it's funny. He had this other this dual album released one time, Sweat, and Suit, and well now I
forgot all about that.
I imagine this is going to involve both. He's sweating because of a suit, and I mean a lawsuit.
Okay, we've gone far off track. So Paige Van Zandt does does training with military. This is great.
This one, I pull it tight, and then I stick this hand in the crease of my arm right here, and then this hand goes on the back of his head. And then, okay, I haven't started yet. Are you okay? Okay, so, and then I'm going to pull up and squeeze with my arms, and then I'm going to pull up on his head, and then push down with this hand. You ready? Go ahead, tap it.
Don't tap.
She really took him out.
This one, I pull it tight.
She's so hot and so lethal. I mean, this chick can kill you.
Yeah, with that.
I mean, just in a real fight.
Oh.
I mean, she's a professional UFC fighter.
Yeah, I know.
And her husband is too.
Yeah, don't remind me. I mean.
And then I stick this.
Her husband has like a horse face. He's one of the ugliest people probably in the UFC, but
Probably from being in the UFC. I'm guessing that's where the horse face came from.
he looks like the Family Guy version of Carrot Top. Like, you remember how they made his face look all deformed and crazy?
Oh, wait a minute. Are you sure you're not thinking of the actor Eric Stoltz? He was in that movie where he was the guy with the weird face that was all like kind of smushed in.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mask, that's what it was.
Wasn't that Jim Carrey?
No, that was The Mask. Yeah, that's my type right there.
Yeah, hot blonde chicks that can choke you to death.
Oh, I don't care if they're blonde.
Oh, hot chicks that'll choke you to death.
Okay, Jeremy, we've been over this. Oh
my God. So you
It sounds more like that's your fetish.
No, you know what my fetish is fighting. I love fight videos, World Star hip hop fights. Hold on. You gotta see this from the beginning.
Oh. Oh. Your ass out. Stop. Your ass out, big man. Hey, big man, your ass out. Hold on.
Hey, y'all start over.
Start over, bro. Start over.
Y'all start. You guys said y'all start over, man. Hey, both y'all start the fuck over. Man, I'm telling you, Gibson, stop. Gibson, I just said start over. I just said start over.
He shitted on himself.
He shitted on himself.
He shitted, man. Y'all
He
stop,
shitted
bro.
on himself. Gibson, get up.
Who
He shitted
shitted?
on himself.
Yeah, leave him alone. He shitted, bro. He stank.
Were these guys? Okay, I kind of hope at least one of these guys was drunk.
Gibson, he shitted.
Damn, he shitted, boy.
Get up.
That's actually a good point that you bring up because it looks like they're behind a bar, maybe a club, because this is all like a concrete or an asphalt surface, and then there's this big fencing right here.
And judging by, okay, we can tell it's nighttime, and judging by the way they dressed.
Yeah, they're at the bar.
And,
these dudes are talking shit to each other.
And where a group of guys in that apparent age range dressed like that at night, I'm like, where else could they possibly be other than a bar or a club?
Yeah, at a bar to cause trouble. That's that's what it is.
Not necessarily to cause trouble. I mean, they.
But these fellas are fighting, and big fella just shit on himself.
Yeah,
let's see some more.
I'm thinking.
How the fuck you shit in the middle of a fight?
Get up.
Hey, man, get up or you be stank, man.
Man, get up. He shitted on himself, man.
Oh.
Man.
Oh.
How you like to be like puppy after that, bro?
Damn.
He said you ain't getting no pussy with an ass like that.
Oh.
Well, yeah, just.
Well, that shit, boy. That ain't blood. That's shit. God damn, that shit stank. How you like you copy?
Okay, notice the way they're all leaving him there. I'm guessing, like, maybe that one guy was. I'm guessing like the rest of them are all like one group, and
yeah,
this dude made trouble with.
Yeah, he was probably talking shit, and
or maybe maybe the other guy was, and
you know, actually, now that I'm looking at this more, I can't really make out where they would be. This could be a parking lot. This could be like a basketball court. I don't know.
Yeah, because
can't really tell. But at the beginning of this, they're right next to a building. See, there's a parking lot right there, and this is a no parking sign, I'd assume.
So it's probably like where.
This is like
some sort of business, and that's where deliveries get unloaded. That's probably why there's no parking sign.
Oh, right. I'm assuming that's got to be a bar.
Yeah.
These guys sound like they're a little lit.
Why you want to fight you? Fuck that.
Okay, so these guys go outside to fight, and the other guy just happens to already have the camera ready.
Yeah.
Your ass out. Stop. Your ass out, big man.
Okay, because I think that guy shitting himself does reveal one more thing.
What is that?
This was not pre-planned.
All right. No, this is definitely an impromptu fight.
Or, yeah, I'm getting the feeling, though, the guy in the black
Hey, big man, your ass out.
Hold on. He must have been at least a little bit belligerent on his own, because if he was there with the rest of that group, then...
They both started it with each other.
Exactly, which is why I think the rest of the guys don't just beat the shit out of one or the other.
Right, they let them fight it one-on-one.
So maybe these guys are like, well...
We know Tommy's a dickhead.
So we're not gonna gang up on this other guy. But
now, what do you think if the other guy would have started whooping that dude's ass?
Which dude? The one in the white shirt?
The fat dude that shits himself? What if he just started beating the hell out of this dude in the black shirt?
Yeah, if he jumps...
I think he might have got jumped.
Yeah, especially if it's an unprovoked attack.
And then he would have really shit on himself.
Yeah.
Even worse.
You know, that's not just, as my late dad taught me, beat the shit out of somebody is not just a figure of speech.
No, not in this case.
No, literally, it is. If you beat he told me, if you beat someone bad enough, it will cause a loss of bowel control, and they will shit themselves. Hence, literally beating the shit out of them. But I don't think that's what happened here, because the other guy wasn't exactly winning when that happened, was he?
No, I mean, they were trying to tear him apart. Let's go back into it. So they're trying to break up the fight while it was still going on. But this dude started getting more shots off. Like, see right there. If you watch the Superman punch, he misses, and then big guy in the white shirt hits him with a clean shot, and that's when he falls back. Now watch this Superman punch miss. Bang! Dude caught him on the way in.
Oh!
But then he fell on his face right there.
Oh, I don't know. Black shirt kind of landed.
Ass right, big man.
But now watch when they try to split him up. The dude
Hey,
in the
big
black
man,
shirt,
your ass right.
he lands a couple shots on the way out.
You guys start over, man. Hey, both y'all start the fuck over. Man, I'm telling you, Gibson, stop. Gibson, I just said start over.
Yeah, whatever this was about, it was
something stupid.
And it was unnecessary, and...
That's like somebody stepping on your sneaker, or... Oh, as a matter of fact, speaking of sneakers, this dude's wearing a fresh pair of Fila's right there. I haven't seen them in a long time.
I'm impressed that you can tell that from here. Good job.
Yeah, I'm a sneakerhead. I used to love the Fila's, 2 for $89 back in my teens.
Like 2 pairs for $89?
Yeah, you get 2 pairs for $89, and I would always go for standard colors. You get one with you'd always have to get a black pair, because it'll go with any outfit, and then you get one that's like blue or red pair or something.
Oh, yeah. I kind of do that with my running shoes sometimes, like where the color's not the most important thing, but I do look at it. Like, I'm not going to wear... You ever seen those, like, bright... I've seen running shoes that are, like, the same shade of yellow as the yellow part of that Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw someone wearing them, I was at my reserve center. I was in uniform, and the fatigue uniform with the boots. He was in his PT uniform where, he had running shoes on in that color. I'm like, oh, hey, hold on a minute. And then I pulled my sunglasses out of my cargo pocket, put them on, and started talking with him. I'm like, okay, continue. Just, poking fun at him a bit.
So that was this week's batch of J. Remy videos that I hunt down specifically for this show.
We need to have a catchy name for this segment.
We do need to get a catchy name for it. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, we're not gonna think up a good one right now.
Not on the spot. That's like some pre-show work.
Yeah, post-show work.
Throughout the week work.
Yeah, or if someone just has an epiphany at one point. It might be you, might be me, might be Danielle. If you could talk, it might be Dexter. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? That might be a good job for the boy.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not for this show.
No, I meant just thinking up a snappy name. What did you think I meant?
Oh, and I also forgot at the beginning of this show. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Just a quick disclaimer for anybody.
By that logic, you shouldn't be watching.
Well, according to age, I'm mature enough for this show, but my mental capacity, maybe not.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bart talking to Otto, the bus driver. Come on, Otto, you're the coolest adult I've ever known. And Otto's like, wow, man, I've never been called an adult before. I've been tried as one. Don't! Yes, Homer, that's right.
So, how's we've been away for a couple of weeks. How has your past couple of weeks been?
Well, I saw the Batman, but we talked about that. I'm continuing to work part-time at 104.5 WQKT in Worcester.
Yeah, how's that going?
Oh, I record news and weather updates. Yeah, reported on some, I find local stuff out there, so...
Do you talk away from the mic on there like you do here?
Was that just a subtle hint to talk closer to the mic? You're having volume issues. Yeah, there I have like there it's a studio where, you know, I'm not on a couch between the mic and
damn, sitting on No Outlet Live Studios, live on the air.
Yeah, so today I reported about a Wayne County probation chief receiving an award and a high school band director being placed on administrative leave due to inappropriate behavior with a female student. Yeah, this was worse than that, I'm guessing.
You know what I recently learned about the Sokotoa clip?
Oh, there's more. Go on.
So, I didn't realize this at the time, but Sokotoa is for some type of math.
Yeah, it's a mnemonic device, sign.
It's how you correctly calculate angles,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would have had a problem with the whole Sokotoa memory device, but the putting on the headdress and dancing.
I know.
Actually, I think she still could have gotten away with dancing. It was the headdress is what really pissed people off. That's where
when we played that video on the show, I didn't realize that I believe I remember saying that this has nothing to do with math, but it actually did.
Yeah, and either way, a teacher of any subject should not have been doing that.
That's one of my favorite sound bites that we have.
And I don't know if anyone even had this idea, but I seriously think she should have been examined by a mental health professional.
Yeah, I mean, the mental health professional would see that video and say, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, or it just that was totally unnecessary. And she didn't even have the wherewithal to do a tear-filled apology.
Yeah, I know. What is up with that?
Like, I'm just sorry, but these kids were so damn lazy and they won't pay attention, and I had to do something drastic. Who else is gonna, if I don't teach them, who will? You?
That is agreed. We're about to go to a quick break. This is No Outlet Live, brought to you by Guardian Roadside Solutions. They have a brand new offer for you guys. They have towing now. So if you're stuck on the side of the road and you literally can't get back on it, they'll tow you to your next destination. You can contact Guardian Roadside Solutions at 440-833-6000. And if you're stuck, call Guardian. They'll get you back on the road. We'll be back right after this. Podcast, join Anchor. Anchor has everything you need to make a podcast for free. Monetize your podcast, one-click distribution, record from anywhere on the app, and they have unlimited free hosting. Download Anchor on the App Store or Google Play. Anchor, podcasting made easy.
The Education of Jazz, with your host, Hakeem H., bringing you the absolute best for your listening pleasure in America's only true art form of music. I'll be playing your favorites each day, everything from Duke, Coltrane, Julian Cannonball Adderley, to George Duke, Bob James, Kenny G, and so many more. We'll have guest artists to interview, locally and national artists, and even a live call-in from you, the audience. Tune in daily from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. to unwind your day for the Education of Jazz.
Are you looking for a place to have custom t-shirts made for your business? Well, we have the place for you. Flathouse Press works with 100% eco-friendly material for all of you conscious folks. They can also put out orders in a fraction of the time large-scale competitors can. They are a fun, locally grown Cleveland original company. Go to flathousepress.com and check out the variety of party toys, headbands, and clothing in their catalog.
It's that time of year again. The snow is getting ready to fall, and you're going to need a plowman to get you through the winter. Call Gifted Hands Landscaping. They handle all your lawn and snow care needs. Services include gutter cleaning, snow removal, leaf pickup, weed pickup, and more. Call Tate at 216-925-8473 to receive a free quote. Don't wait until the last minute. This is Cleveland. The snow is coming whether you like it or not. Again, that number is 216-925-8473. Gifted Hands Landscaping.
All of our loved ones always die in December. I miss the night times that I can't remember. Venom-filled veins and stone-cold sedation. Drugs are amazing and I fucking hate it. Kick the dirt off from your heels, darling. There's hell inside of these eyes. Let's lose ourselves around the cold rings of Saturn tonight. Fade away deep down into the depths. I wanna be swept out to sea. Life can seem like an ill-conceived illusion. There's no solution for some sicknesses. My soul turns to stone and I sink into the abyss. Chasing pipe dreams has its drawbacks. And without you, the world would be a much worse place. And without you, this world would be a much worse place. And without you, this world would be a much worse place. Without you, this world would be a much worse place. Without you. Come on! Your pizza is here!
It ain't delivery. It's the best podcast live on Saturdays.
It is. That is us. The best podcast on Saturdays. Right now we are in beta via Twitch. And this is No Outlet Live. Do not forget to check us out on all of the other platforms. If you're at work and you can't watch the show, you could always find us on whatever your favorite platform to listen to music or whatever. Our show is on it.
And if you're a supervisor, we can be very useful for punishing your troublesome employees.
Yeah, just force them to listen to you playing with that mic cable over there.
God damn, you're just not going to let that go, are you?
I don't think I can. So, do you have any teasers for the news?
Let's see. We have Burger. We have Drunk Assholes.
Oh, drunk assholes. You're sitting across from one right now.
And a completely calculated and sober asshole.
Whoa, you want to tell me about that towel?
We'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there?
Yes, when we follow the appropriate story.
Well, to follow up with your amazing teasers, you want to jump right into it?
Yes, in fact, since you've addressed the towel, why don't you go to the stories?
All right.
No Outlet News with Anthony Miano.
So this is thestreet.com. Burger King bets big on its ugly new burger.
Yeah, now, once I start describing this, there's a good chance that I'm going to start drooling. That's why I'm going to...
You got to watch that mic cable, man.
Okay, we're gonna adjust this at some point in the future to make it easier for me not to do that.
Well, it would help if the microphone is up away from where your hands are.
How about now?
Yeah, that'll be a little better.
Okay, good. It's not like close. It's not like I'm having it jammed in my face by an obnoxious reporter.
I mean, you kind of need it like that because it'll sound echoey if it's not by your face. Microphones work best when they're about a fist away from your mouth.
Thank you for that visual imagery.
Oh, hold on, and now we're getting some feedback.
How about now?
I've got to listen. Oh, we're getting all kinds of feedback now. Just go ahead with this story. These days, Burger King really is earning its name, especially when it comes to taking wacky, wildly creative chances in the fast food market.
Yeah, so they've got something called the...
Oh, shit. Now we're just not getting no feed from your mic. Give me 1 second. And I forgot to bring you back up on there. Can you speak into the microphone?
Yes, I can.
All right, there you go. Now we're back. Let's jump into that story for one more time. They created some bizarre products worldwide to innovate and stand out from the pack, including its 1 pound King Yeti burger. What? And its Big Mouth line. I've never heard of these, and I'm a Burger King connoisseur.
Well, yeah, they've got this thing where they're playing on FOMO that they like to do, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they do is, they put out these, I guess you'll say specialty burgers for a limited time. Maybe like, hey, it's only available for a limited time. You gotta hurry.
And you brought a towel because you're about to just drool all over your dick and balls.
God damn it, you just have to put that imagery in everywhere, don't you?
Is this the burger?
Yes, and the...
it looks like a cheesy bun.
Yes, so it has Gouda, Egmont, mozzarella, and cheddar cheese, and that's just...
What's an Egmont?
I don't know, it's just on the list. and that's just what's melted into the bun. And then there's that other cheese right there.
This bottom cheese?
Yes, it is a... from the best I can determine, it appears to be a jalapeno-type cheese.
Yeah, it looks like little chunks of jalapeno in there. This is making my mouth water.
Yes, if any of our viewers have sampled it, please let me know. And as for it, look almost as if it had been burned under a heat lamp.
It says the Ugly Burger made its debut in Japan in September of last year. It looked fairly straightforward loaded cheeseburger at first, except for one thing. The bun had a bumpy, burned-looking appearance, both top and bottom, almost as if it had been burned under a heat lamp. Technically, that description wasn't wrong, because what was melted into the bun is cheese, multiple cheeses, in fact including Gouda, Egmont, oh, it's a cheese, of course, mozzarella, and cheddar. Yeah, this is like a cheesy cheeseburger.
Yeah, and that's why, I'm worried about drooling all over my t-shirt. Okay, the towel was just a visual aid.
And
figure of speech.
It says, while it certainly didn't look attractive, food bloggers praised the flavor and flocked to their local BKs to buy these hideous creations. Soon enough, new versions were spawned, including chili, shrimp, and chicken. Chicken de ugly.
Yeah, I gotta say, I disagree. I don't think it looks ugly at all.
No, I think it looks great.
Although, there is an art to that. They manipulate those images.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is all plastic right here.
Yeah, and you know there's a laundry list of things they do for food commercials. Like, you know how they make them look all steamy, hot, and fresh?
Oh, yeah.
They microwave tampons to get the steam.
Yeah, and you know how they do commercials with macaroni and cheese? Is they just dump paint on macaroni. And it looks very, very cheesy, but it's just cheese-colored paint.
Someone deserves to be flogged for that one.
What is flogged?
It means whipped or beaten.
All right, so let's jump into another story you got here from Travel Noir.
Yes, these involve this is the one involving the drunken asshole. Assholes. There were 3 of them.
Says according to an article out of travelnoir.com, drunken, unruly passengers cause Aeromexico flight to divert to Houston. 3 allegedly intoxicated passengers caused Aeromexico a flight heading from Toronto to Mexico City to divert to Houston early. It was reported that unruly passengers, 2 men and 1 woman, were caught drinking alcohol on the plane after being told alcohol was not allowed on the flight by a flight attendant. Why would you let them on the flight with the alcohol then?
Well, airplane crews, they don't search people like airport security does, and there's shops in airports where they can buy alcohol. In fact, this was probably bought at the you ever heard of duty-free shops?
Duty-free shops?
Yeah, duty as in D-U-T-Y, not the kind you're thinking. Get your damn brain out of the gutter. Wow, did you do that on cue, or was that loaded on the sound?
No, that was me.
Once again, good job. So there's these shops where people can buy things that are normally taxed in the United States, alcohol, tobacco, but in order to buy anything there, you gotta show your plane ticket for the next flight you're going to be on, and it has to be one leaving the United States. I don't know if Canada is similar, but as for the diverting to Houston, that's what makes this kind of, I don't know what the right word is, because you notice how it said Toronto to Mexico City?
Yeah.
In the context of air travel, Houston is like right down the street from Mexico City.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
because so they made it to almost the end of the flight, and
it says the employees on the airline asked them to finish their beverages and cover their faces with masks, fearing that this incident could risk the safety of the flight. The flight attendant called the plane's pilot, who then diverted the plane to Houston. The 3 individuals kept refusing to cover their faces, were rude, confrontational, and appeared to be intoxicated. The spokesman, Keith Smith, of the police department, told Flight Aware. Landing at the George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, police entered the flight and removed all 3 unruly passengers from the aircraft. 2 passengers were transported to the Sobering Center in Houston, a facility where people could go without being arrested to avoid a criminal record for public intoxication. That's pretty fair. No charges were filed against either passenger. The 3rd passenger was left in the care of Customs and Border Protection because it was an illegal immigrant.
Actually, no. He just... no, because he wasn't trying to immigrate to the United States. He just, for reason... I did a little... I went a little bit more in depth, and all I could find was that this guy wasn't allowed to enter the United States.
So he was trying to pass over the states. They ended up getting diverted, and he went somewhere he wasn't allowed to go in the first place.
Yeah,
but he wasn't intending to go to the states.
Yeah, he was... I mean, the flight started in Canada, so it flew over the United States, and he was supposed to land in Mexico, not America. So that's why they had to put him with Customs and Border Protection.
Let's look at some of these comments in this article. MB says, almost certain these were not black Canadians, as they were treated extremely well. I doubt if they were black, they would have gone to a sobering house versus jail, which in turn would have led to a criminal record and fines.
Well, in that case, I would then ask, well, have the airlines been treating drunk, belligerent black people worse than drunk, belligerent white people?
D. Gordon says, I'm appalled that these people are Canadians. Short of spitting on people while running naked in the aisles, their behavior couldn't have been much more embarrassing for all Canadians. So is that what happened? I wish there was a video on this.
Yeah, I looked for one, and there's not, as far as I can tell, no one was filming on the plane. And
look, Mint Bell also says, I bet they was white.
Honestly, okay, I mean, I can kind of get where they're coming from, but does anyone really need to bring race into this?
It needs to be brought into everything these days.
Yeah, it's just... And I don't know anything more about these people. In fact,
I really hope that they're all going from Toronto to Mexico City. Maybe they're all Mexicans.
Yeah, because nothing in there specified
any race
or nationality. So
it just said 2 males and a female.
Yeah, and
they're Canadians.
Okay.
Yeah, the Canadian nationals departed for Toronto, Canada today.
Yeah, so apparently they sent these people further on to Mexico.
This is becoming an actual huge issue in the flight world because, I mean, people have been acting out on airplanes for a couple of years now, ever since the COVID thing.
Oh, I looked into this further. Guess how many incidents like this have been reported to the FAA this year so far?
Since January?
Yes.
Oh man, I would have to say, I'll say 32.
Oh, it is way north of that.
Whoa, it's more than 32. Let me guess one more time. 58.
You're still
I'm still short.
You don't even have the right number of digits.
Oh my god, 114.
Okay, you got part of it right, kind of. You were 700 short.
Oh my god, how many?
814.
Holy shit.
And that's as of March 7th, so I can maybe see that by some miracle there haven't been any in the last 5 days. But guess what pace that is for the year. And that's being generous and assuming there's no more this month.
Oh man, with 800 in just this year,
800 in the first 3 months.
In the first 3 months. So if you divide 800 and something by 3, I would have to say we're somewhere close to 300.
No.
It's like 250, 300.
So we're at 814 so far in the first quarter of the year. So that means we are currently on pace for 3,256 this year. And I'm thinking it's going to spike later this year for 2 reasons.
Why is that?
Summer travel season.
Oh, yeah. People are going to get lit and crazy in the summer. The summer always makes people go crazy.
And just because of the sheer volume of passengers total, the Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas season is... You know what I mean? That's probably...
Yeah, it's going to up a lot of travel, and especially people have been cooped up for years now.
Oh, yes.
And we're ready to get out.
And I even looked up the number of incidents the FAA has investigated over the last few years.
Oh, God. Please indulge me.
So, in 2018, care to guess how many they did? And this is investigations, mind you, not incidents.
753.
Okay, in this case, you way overshot it. No. 159.
Holy shit, in the whole year of 2018?
Yes. And then in 2019, people behaved themselves a little bit better, because there were 146. Then in 2020, it shot back up a little bit to 183. But then last year, oh boy. 1,099.
Here it is, guys. Stolen valor at its finest.
Oh, shit.
It's stolen valor.
Yeah, and
That's boy.
I think I figured out what makes this kind of thing worse. And that's the confined nature of aircraft, because when people get stupid in any other public place in America, it can usually be fixed just by making them leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really hard to make people leave that are acting belligerent.
Yeah, but when an aircraft is in flight, you don't have the option to kick them out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but that's when the law gets in the way. Also, there is another problem with that. Even if you could legally get away with throwing them off the plane.
Oh, what is that?
You better make damn sure the rest of the passengers are securely in their seats with their seatbelts. Because if you open one of those doors while it's in flight, there's a good chance it could suck other people out and kill them.
You know, I was watching this comedy show the other day, and somebody had brought up a very valid point that I never thought of. What really is the point of having a seatbelt on an airplane? Have you ever heard of like a plane crash, and then they're like, we're talking to the one survivor, and he's like, thank God for a seatbelt.
I think maybe it's for like those, there can still be turbulence where it doesn't crash, and then maybe it prevents someone from being like thump, kind of like a car seatbelt.
Does turbulence get that bad? I've never been on an airplane.
I have, and the worst thing that ever happened to me was I had one flight that had to turn around and land back at the airport right after it took off because of a mechanical problem. I never had a near crash incident. I never had anything where the oxygen mask dropped from the ceiling, anything like that.
But is the turbulence like strong enough to knock you out of your seat?
It could be.
Have you experienced that?
No, but I don't know. Maybe it makes people feel safer.
I feel like I would prefer to not wear a seatbelt if I'm on an airplane, honestly.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard of the story? There was once this story of a guy that got swept up by a tornado, and he was kind of intoxicated. So the tornado threw this guy for a mile. It threw him a mile away. He landed in a field and had 0 injuries. He had scratches and bruises. They said because the alcohol made his body limp. So when he hit the ground, he wasn't tensed up and nothing broke. He just got flung a mile throughout the sky, landed, and woke up in a field and was perfectly fine.
I wonder if that changed his life in any way.
That would change my life.
I mean, mentally, he survived something even with that explanation, he survived something he shouldn't have survived.
Yeah, I mean, that's what nightmares are made of. I've never even seen a tornado up close. We live in the Midwest, but really we don't get tornadoes in this part of it.
Yeah.
It's usually a little more south where the tornadoes really form and touch down and demolish cities.
It's in the middle of America. That's why, if I understand correctly, Oklahoma has been nicknamed Tornado Alley.
Yeah, and the states next to it and all of that area.
Yeah, but yeah, as for the what you were saying, the survive something you shouldn't have survived, that was one of the elements in my book, because all my characters are Greek gods, thus they're immortal. But I bring up that one of the downsides of being immortal is that you could survive damage far beyond what any human being could, and then you're going to remember all of it.
Yeah, and don't forget, you guys, Anthony Miano does have a book you can find on Amazon, The Changing of the Gods. You can look it up, get yourself a copy. It's a great book. It is a good read.
I have one character, I'm not going to say who takes a beating that starts with their head being yanked back and slammed through a marble table.
I love that.
And
but
again,
like, back to my point, though, about the guy being flung by a tornado, I think if you're wearing a seatbelt and you're stuck into your seat when it crashes, I don't know what the percentage chances of you surviving a plane crash is, but I think they'd be great. You'd have a greater chance of surviving without the seatbelt.
why is that? Because you would...
Well, they give you the oxygen to make you go to sleep. That's what the oxygen mask is really for. If you breathe straight oxygen, you're going to bed. And it's so that you're not panicking and freaking out to your death.
Where did you hear that?
I can't remember where I heard that. Maybe I'm making it up right now.
I'm thinking because if there's an incident when... Okay, you ever heard of pressurization?
Yeah.
That's how you're able to breathe comfortably in an airplane while it's, way up there without wearing an oxygen mask. I think the oxygen masks are for if something happens to depressurize it, that you can still breathe and stay conscious while the pilot does whatever it is they do to get it under control.
But I can't remember where I heard that. I remember hearing that pure oxygen, when you breathe that, when you sit there and constantly breathe it, especially when you're in a panic and you're breathing heavy and fast, it's going to knock you out.
Yeah, if anyone listening knows anything about this, please chime in the comments. We would love the input. But
yeah, I would love to get some feedback about that.
And a special PSA. As for those people getting on the plane with alcohol when it wasn't allowed, they likely bought it in the airport, and flight crews don't search people. And especially with one of them was a woman, she could have carried enough booze for all three of them in just her purse.
So I have a news story of my own, actually a couple of them that I want to bring up before we go to our break. Let me share my screen. On Daily Mail, I found this article. Hold on, I got a lot of pop-ups going on here.
Okay, this is the kind of thing I'm hoping future employers aren't seeing if they check out this show when they evaluate.
Surgery-addicted social media star with the world's fattest vagina claims she was sexually assaulted by a butch lesbian security guard. Just because someone looks sexual doesn't give you the right to assault them. A plastic surgery-obsessed social media star, Mary Magdalene, look at this.
Oh my God.
Has claimed she is assaulted at an airport recently. The 25-year-old who boasts the world's fattest vagina and size 5,000 cc breast implants alleged on Instagram she was groped by a butch lesbian from airport security who singled her out due to her voluptuous appearance. I started crying, the American model said. She was literally laughing, making me take my top off and then began groping me. Look at her. Look at this lady. She looks like she could have been hot before all of that.
I think she probably was, but now she looks like a
monster.
I was gonna say, you know how cartoon characters, depending on which one, are drawn with exaggerated features?
Yeah, that's exactly what she looks like.
This is like one of them were more... It's like the Pinocchio thing, becoming a real... Pinocchio wanted to become a real boy. Well, I think this cartoon wanted to become human, and that's what happened.
Yeah, she was like, I want to be a real model. I mean, look at this lady. She is crazy.
And I gotta say, the Elon Musk's in there just is not helping.
I bet you her areolas are the same size as Elon Musk's.
Oh my God, no.
You know what? That might have been photoshopped on there because her nipples are sticking out of the shirt. Or that's a real shirt. I don't know. That is crazy. Mary said she told the security guard to stop touching her before another female guard nearby intervened and told the woman to stop too. It was a butch lesbian. The majority of the time I get assaulted, it's by women. So sick. Say what the fuck you want about me, but don't fucking touch me. Very sick world we live in. People think it's okay to just touch a stranger's breast without consent.
Okay.
Look at this cartoon monster. Look at her hips.
Now I no longer feel bad about the way I was talking about her just a minute ago because she literally just said, talk however you want about me.
Yeah, she's a monster. I'll say whatever I want.
I don't know about...
She's a monster.
Monster implies predator. She's more like a...
What nightmares are made of.
Yeah, there's actually a category on most of the pages on TV tropes. It's called nightmare fuel. And
now I'm wondering if this is a porn star. It didn't say porn model, did it?
No, it just said she's a social media star, which is basically like being a porn star without actually fucking anyone, at least not on camera.
I wonder how, oh man, I'm at a loss for words. I wonder what makes her claim fattest vagina in the world. I need to see this vagina.
Wow. I feel sorry for whoever's job would be to verify that.
I think it's going to be my job. I'm going to have to verify this. Absolutely disgusting, sick people. This is in Mary's words, Mary Magdalene. Isn't that Jesus' mom?
No, Jesus' mom was simply Mary. Mary Magdalene was one of his followers who has...
Was that the whore that got stoned in the streets?
No, the whore you're thinking of that got stoned in the streets did not actually get stoned. That was when Jesus stepped forward and said, let he who's without sin cast the first stone, and everybody was like...
right.
And they were all like... I have my own theory about that story, which is the original version must have been that they didn't listen. They started throwing stones anyway, and then he did a Magneto type thing, you know.
Oh, and stopped him like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah, and then they saw this and they were like, "Oh fuck," and then turned around and ran. Or he might have used mind control. I mean, if you're gonna believe that he was able to raise the dead and walk on water, then mind control is not a stretch. You know what I'm saying?
It's not out of the realm.
But I mean, these stories weren't meant to be taken literally. They were meant to teach lessons, metaphors, and all that. Anyway.
She said, because I look how I do, people will say I'm asking for it. The logic is so mentally deranged. If you think like that, please seek help.
And
I think she needs to seek some help.
But assuming she's telling the truth about all this...
Look at her. She looks like an alien or something. Look at the veins coming out of her titties.
It looks like the alien, like, I could see an alien race, like, sending one of their own disguised as a human being to observe us, but, and this was it, but they really fucked it up.
Yeah, they sent, like, the retarded one to come and intervene.
Okay, being serious for just a minute, she did not deserve to be assaulted.
No, completely not, but...
I'm sorry.
I mean, if I was airport security, I wouldn't like automatically assume that I have to do a strip search and grope on her or whatever.
Not to mention, in this day and age, especially at airports, outside of a restroom, there is no way anyone's making a move of any kind that's not on camera.
This kind of makes me like really think about that. Have you ever seen the movie with Scarlett Johansson where she takes a drug that turns her into, like, God?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not God. It just
it's
gives her...
Lucy.
Yes, it gives her the ability to use a higher percentage of her brain.
Now, maybe... Remember when she goes to the airport and they're smuggling the drug through their organs? Maybe that's what this lady thought when she was supposedly groping on her. Maybe she was like, this lady's got all of this fake body parts. Maybe she's smuggling stuff.
Okay, on that note, it's my understanding that there's like some sort of procedure where if they suspect someone is drug smuggling, they take them into another room somewhere with like a 2 to 3 agent minimum, and then there is a very by the book way
Holy
they have
shit.
to search.
Holy shit. Check this out. Mary became a social media sensation in 2018 after she almost died during an operation to enlarge her vagina. I almost died during the procedure. I had to get 2 blood transfusions. The doctor said I was losing so much blood and turning very pale. He thought I was going to die.
He then muttered under his breath, I went to all that medical school to do this? What the fuck?
I wanted to save lives. Instead, I'm enlarging vaginas.
Now I'm wondering how many of those operations that doctor did. Like, you remember that
You'd have to be comfortable with doing the procedure. I guess you would have to do it before.
You remember that South Park where the boys were like, Chef, what's a proctologist? Well, children, a proctologist is a doctor that specializes in your asshole. So you mean at some point in his life, he decided he wanted to study other people's assholes?
Look at this. This is a picture of her before and after.
I can't believe those are the same woman.
Yeah, it's not even close to being the same person.
Except
she completely transformed.
Okay, she's still white, but that's about the only similarity left.
She used to be like pretty hot.
I know. What did you...
That is a shame.
It's kind of like... The closest equivalent I've ever seen is... Have you heard of that movie Vice?
No.
Okay, so Christian Bale played former Vice President Dick Cheney, and you cannot tell... Even if you've seen his other movies, it's still almost impossible to tell that it's him, because he went from... I'll put it bluntly, he went from playing Batman to Fat Man. I'm like, you remember Christian Bale shirtless in the Dark Knight movies, right?
No.
Okay,
I wasn't really looking to see Christian Bale shirtless. Oh, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, he looked like the epitome of physical fitness, and then when I saw the promos for Vice, I was like, okay, he should be prosecuted for desecrating a work of art.
Dude, so,
as should that woman.
Daniel commented and said, just looked her up. She now identifies as a man.
She can identify as whatever she wants, but she doesn't look...
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I got one more story. We gotta rush through this
Also,
one.
that's bullshit, because I've tried to identify as 6'4", and no one will go along with that.
So I went to Cleveland.com, and for all of you Catholics that are doing your Lent, here's Cleveland's Fish Fry Guide to 2022, where to dine on the second Friday of Lent. So fish fries are one of my favorites. I love it. There's a lot of places that they bring up in here, so I'm going to just fly through a bunch of them. Good Friday is April 15th, and Easter is the Sunday, April 17th. In Amherst, the VFW Post 1662 and Auxiliary, they're having yellow perch, shrimp, hamburgers, pierogi, mac and cheese, clam chowder, and other stuff. If you go to the VFW Post in Amherst, they're gonna have a great fish fry.
Wait a minute. Hamburgers and pierogi. The whole point of these fish fries is they're not supposed to eat meat during Lent on Fridays.
Well, yeah, that's for the people that are just going to the VFW for it, because you can they let you invite your family and stuff to these VFW events. In Avon Lake, the St. Joseph Parish, they're having a seafood entree, a 6-ounce portion, sauce on the side. It has slaw, steamed green beans, a baked cod, mango chutney, $14 butterfly shrimp, breaded and fried. They're having some walleye. Okay, let's go to another one in Bay Village.
My cholesterol just went up.
In Bay Village, St. Raphael Catholic Church, they're having a good fish fry. Bedford, at the French Barlet VFW Post 1082, they're having tilapia, catfish. Brecksville, St. Joseph's Byzantine Catholic Church, they're having walleye, baked fish, shrimp, pierogies. Let's see, there's some more. Broadview Heights, the Church of Assumption, The menu has a fabulous fish fry. Includes
they're assuming you have no problem with obesity with that menu.
homemade pierogies, orange roughy. I don't even know what an orange roughy is. Cod, crab cakes,
I'd be willing
shrimp,
to try one.
haluski. That's cabbage and noodles.
I'm guessing it's a Polish dish of some sort.
In Brooklyn, Dr. Martin Luther Evangelical Lutheran Church, they're having walleye and cod on March 4th, 11th, and the 18th. Brunswick, the St. Ambrose Catholic Parish, they're having a $12.50 2 pieces of baked or fried white fish with 2 sides of 9 potato and cheese pierogi.
Okay, did you work out a sponsorship deal where we're getting paid every time you say something fish related?
No, but I'm dying for a good fish fry. I haven't had one in like a year. Chagrin Falls, Church of the Holy Angels, Cleveland, the Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. Cleveland, the Benedictine, is that right?
It's pronounced Benedictine. My high school played against them.
Okay, the Benedictine High School. They're having a good fish fry around the days that the Catholics get down like that. The Cleveland Boy Scout Troop 433. They're having one on March 4th and April 8th. Cleveland Holy Name Parish fish fry. The Mary Queen of Peace in Cleveland. St. Leo the Great, Cleveland, having a fish fry. St. Mary Romanian Orthodox Cathedral in Cleveland, having banging fish fries. Look at these people serving all this delicious fish. And that is all I got for the news. We will be right back after this quick break. We'll see you in a minute. Have you ever wondered where to get the hands-on training to be on the radio or even on the news? Ohio Media School. Take the quiz online on the website beonair.com to see if media broadcasting is the right field for you. Learn by doing is the school style. We know there is no substitute for operating the tools of broadcasting under the direction of broadcast professionals. The classes and studio sessions are run with the same professional informality that is found throughout the broadcast industry. Ohio Media School, 216-503-5900, or visit the campus at 9885 Rockside Road, Independence, Ohio. Ohio Media School, where broadcasting dreams become reality.
The hottest DJ.
Buddy Addison's here to make sweet, sweet love to your ears whenever the fuck I feel like it. Tune in to CBW and maybe if you're lucky, I'll be on.
Or just invite me over for a good time.
On the stage, yeah, I crave the applause, but hate painting my face. Do I make you laugh? Have I made you cry? Does it even matter what I do or if I try? What's the fucking point? Is there even one? Don't mean to bring the party down while we're having fun, but these days are blurs, all designed the same. Did I lose my goddamn mind, or is it just my brain? It hurts to know no one needs you now. The curtains close and take a final bow.
What's up? Jay Remy here, host of No Outlet Live. Are you considering or curious about how you could start your own podcast? Join Anchor. Anchor has everything you need to make a podcast for free. Monetize your podcast, one-click distribution, record from anywhere on the app, and they have unlimited free hosting. Download Anchor on the App Store or Google Play. Anchor, podcasting made easy.
Are you looking for a place to have custom t-shirts made for your business? Well, we have the place for you. Flathouse Press works with 100% eco-friendly material for all of you conscious folks. They can also put out orders in a fraction of the time large-scale competitors can. They are a fun, locally grown Cleveland original company. Go to flathousepress.com and check out the variety of party toys, headbands, and clothing in their catalog.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Welcome back to No Outlet Live.
So we had just jumped out of that. I had to go to a break real quick, but I want to go back into this story that Anthony Miano has sent in from Deadline.com. Jussie Smollett gets 150 days in jail and 30 months probation over his faked 2019 attack. He says, "I am not suicidal. I am innocent."
Well, I believe one of those two things.
that he, which one?
That he's not suicidal.
I think he might be after this.
No, well, okay, it could be, but now the context of why he said I am not suicidal is because I think he might be expecting to be killed in jail.
Yeah, he's trying to make himself
martyr.
No, who's the guy that was
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein was suicided in prison, so he's trying to ride on that wave.
I'm not so sure about that, but here's the thing. It's one thing to physically kill someone, but even with the Rikers Island correctional officers being overworked and frequently falling asleep on the job, it's still a lot harder to sneak into a facility like that, kill someone, make it look like a hanging, leave no forensic evidence suggesting it was murder. You know what I mean?
For Jussie Smollett?
No, I mean for Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, it's possible.
Possible, but
I think it was fairly likely
that someone snuck in and killed him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was virtually impossible how that was done. And the people that looked at the autopsy said that his neck broken away, that would be virtually impossible for you to do the way that they said it was done.
And in that case, whoever did it is what I consider one of the scariest people on earth.
It's all them people that got the money
No, I mean whoever physically did it.
I mean,
because to think, like I said,
corrections officers they're big guys.
Yeah, but from what I understand, the killer had to sneak in and get past the correctional officers.
No, it was a correctional officer, I think. Probably got a nice payday.
Yeah, he probably did, which hopefully
They said that the break in Jeffrey Epstein's neck was similar to what you would see somebody getting their neck bashed on something. Like if you took somebody's shoulders and smacked their neck onto like a steel bar or like a railing of some sort.
Well, if this correctional officer is out there and listening, unlikely,
Please get Jussie.
Well, no, I was gonna advise him to don't do something stupid like, say, pay cash all up front for a car that costs more than your annual salary or something obvious. But back to Mr. Smollett.
Yeah, let's check out this video.
I am not suicidal. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay.
Jussie.
Mr. Uche.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, and that pretty lady next to him is not his lawyer.
Who is it?
That's his sister, Journey Smollett Bell. She's a...
His sister is hot. You ain't lying.
Yeah, she's also an actress, roughly as well known as he is, but he has no one to blame but himself. And I don't think racism has nothing to do with what happened to him.
Said he was facing up to 3 years, but they only gave him 150 days. That's close to like half a year.
No. Read that sentence again.
Facing up to 3 years in prison on each charge and tens of thousands of dollars in fines and the felonies.
Guess how many charges he had?
How many? 5. Oh, okay.
So he was
sentenced on one of the charges?
No, here's the thing. Well, are you familiar with the difference between concurrent and consecutive sentencing?
No.
Okay, so concurrent means, say you were convicted of one thing that you get 2 years for, another thing that you get 3 years for, another thing you get 5 years for, and say individually these crimes add up to 10 years. Now, if you get concurrent sentencing, they start the clock on each sentence the day you go in.
Right.
So then you will only serve whatever length the longest of those different sentences was, which in this case would be 5 years. But if they do it for if they do consecutive sentencing, you serve the sentences for each different crime one after the other. So then you would do the full 10 years. So yeah, 3 years for 5 counts each. There's a good chance he would have gotten concurrent sentencing, so he would have served all 5 3-year sentences at once.
But he's not going to get all that because he's a celebrity.
I know.
And they let celebrities off easy.
Well, bear in mind, the criminal justice system does let regular people off a lot easier than they could. More often than you think. Now, the problem there is there are cases where, like I saw a rape case where a guy was offered a plea deal where he'd get 3 years if he pled guilty. Guess what they were going to go with if he was convicted at trial?
What is that?
Life.
Oh, yeah.
And I find that to be just extremely dishonorable. Now, I agree there are guys in prison that do belong there for the rest of their lives, but prosecutor, if you really think a guy deserves life without parole, that's fine. But how are you able to reconcile being okay with that, but also being okay with him only doing 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, that is wild.
And also, there's another reason besides being a celebrity that Smollett didn't get nearly what he could have. And you know what that is?
No, I don't.
His lack of a previous criminal record.
Oh, right, but I think a lot of it has to do with him being a big-time celebrity.
Yeah, and I think the damage... There's nothing that locking him up can still do to him that hasn't already been done during these last 2.5 years, because...
Yeah, he's been shunned from everything.
Yeah, he had a pretty good career going. He was on
He was on a major TV show.
And wasn't he a successful singer, too?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not really sure. I only heard of him when he was on... what show was that, even?
Empire.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Empire.
Terrence Howard starred. Anyway, and the plan itself that got him into this is just mind-blowing.
I mean, it's ridiculous. They saying I didn't do this when this case first got brought up, and when people were first looking into it, like, oh my God, this dude got assaulted, and then they found out the texts to the Nigerians that he hired, and then they found all the proof that he hired Nigerians to do this.
Yeah, and that was possibly the stupidest thing, especially coming from someone like him. And you know what I mean by someone like him?
Gay?
No, he was an actor.
God hates fags.
Okay, we gotta remove that sound effect, otherwise we could get in some real trouble. No, he was an actor. And as an actor, one of the things you would think he would know about is the importance of casting.
Well, the first thing that you want to do when you cast is when you get Nigerians, your first thought would be,
that dude doesn't look white.
Oh, no, it wasn't just... The problem with his scheme wasn't that he hired Nigerians, per se. It was who he hired the Nigerians to play.
Yeah, MAGA people with Make America Great Again hats.
Yeah, and there's even videotape out there of these guys buying the stuff. Like, they went to one of those stores like Pat Catan's, and they asked the cashier...
which is a local store, like a thrift store in the Cleveland area.
No, it's not a thrift store. It's like
a place where you can... It's like a arts and crafts, isn't it?
Yes, and it's a nation... Well, it's a chain. Anyway, so they asked the cashier, do you have any MAGA hats? And she said, well, no, but we have red hats. And they were like, that's good enough. And then...
What I heard was that they wouldn't do the noose thing, and he put it on his own neck. And then it was just like, it wasn't even tight or nothing. And when he approached the police, he was still wearing it.
Yeah.
It was just a whole weird situation, the way he plotted all of that out.
Okay, if he wanted to do some sort of publicity stunt to boost his profile, I'll be frank, I don't know if I could think up something that would have accomplished what he wanted from that, but hiring two Nigerian... Okay, I know there were probably at least a few black Trump supporters, but he should have known that particular detail was going to make it a lot harder for anyone to believe any of the other details of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. Why don't people just do normal stuff to get in the tabloids, like Lady Gaga when she wore a meat suit or whatever, or a meat dress?
Or maybe be seen coming out of the club with somebody high profile who was not suspected to have been involved with him. Like find another gay single celebrity to pretend to date, something like that.
I mean, honestly, people that wear MAGA hats and stuff like that, you could approach them and egg them on into like a big thing. He could have naturally did that, just finding somebody wearing the hat.
And he could have just said, well, I didn't want to start a fist fight, but they made me so mad because I hate everything they stand for, or something like that.
I mean, he could have...
At least then he would have had some real offenders attacking him.
Yeah.
And as for, I think that I'm not suicidal is just another ploy for attention because...
Yeah, I would have to say that was a real gay move.
Yeah. What would be the point for anyone to murder him now?
Let's get off of this Jussie Smollett crap. I've been working with a voiceover actor, okay? And we worked on this project earlier that I want to show you. This is really good. I'm very happy with this turned out. So we made a Dodge Ram commercial, and this commercial turned out really good. I want to see your opinion on this. All right, give me 1 second here.
My first thought is there must be some country music involved.
No.
There usually is with truck commercials.
In the Old West, cowboys lived by an unspoken code. Never try on another man's hat. Always remove your firearm at the table. Talk less, say more. Always do what has to be done. Never covet another man's horse. Built with honor, forged with pride. Guts, glory, Ram.
Wow.
Tell me that wasn't incredible, dude.
That was completely believable as a real ad.
Isn't
all you were missing was that fine print they show at the end of those ads where, it says minimum cost for purchase, all that stuff.
That was on there, but I had to cover it up with a disclaimer so that when we use this for we're going to use this to show his voice actor capabilities. So I don't want us to get in no trouble with RAM, with the whole RAM thing.
Yeah, you probably won't, especially if... Yeah, I've run into a little bit of this copyright thing, with having that YouTube channel last year, and as long as the only people likely to hear this and look at it are people that might hire him as a voiceover artist, and you're not trying to actually sell that product.
Well, that's what I put on the disclaimer, is that this is not for distribution. This is like for, I forgot what I put on there. This is for some type of purposes or whatever, but
you did all the visuals?
Yeah, I went and I did all of that pretty much, and he came over, he recorded his voiceover spot, and then I added in the dramatic music. I found a RAM commercial to fit it, and it turned out really good.
And okay, so you did... What am I saying? Of course you didn't physically create that footage yourself.
No, there's no way. I mean, I could do that, but that was like a whole setup. They even were like in a little country town.
So that was a real ad from somewhere that you just put...
Yeah, that was a real RAM commercial, and I put the voiceover and the music on top of it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, with Adobe Premiere, you can easily erase the original audio.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I took the audio out, I put my own audio in, and then I threw a disclaimer over the top of the video so that they know we're not trying to distribute their commercial.
Yeah, there was I worked with Adobe Premiere myself. I mean, I've done things where I was like editing videos by trimming 1/10 of a second off at a time. Yeah.
That's too much. I might have to I might have to put you in my Adobe Premiere class.
Well, bear in mind, this clip was like 8 seconds long when I started with it.
Oh, you can't do that. They gotta be 30 to 60 seconds.
Well, in context, it makes sense because this was part of a marketing plan, which was a 100-slide PowerPoint, so I wasn't putting long video segments anywhere. And this was a video from, you remember that Spike TV show, Deadliest Warrior?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the one where they had Navy SEALs versus Israeli commandos, and they had one of the SEALs demonstrate this knife on a gel torso of like a human being from the neck up, and it's a knife with a blade like no longer than my hand, and he just goes to the point where it's like spraying realistic blood, and he even decapitates that thing. Woohoo! with that tiny knife. So if this was since this marketing plan was possibly going to be used for, sales pitch or marketing proposals, I was like, and the point of the slide it was on was, I will make videos like this in the future. So I'm like, investors, it will probably go too far with investors if I leave the part in where the head comes off.
And when the head comes off, it don't come back. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Stay tuned. No Outlet Live. We'll be right back.
We'll warn you right now. Things may get a little fucked up and crazy.
What's even worse is I had a kid come in, and I was shitting in the urinal, and he came in, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
But if that's something you're into, then Mikes and Men is the show for you. The boys are gonna cover it all without holding back. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you could learn a thing or two. It's Mikes and Men, only on CBW.
No Outlet Live.
Hey, I'm Jay Remy, host of No Outlet Live. If you're in a podcast that explore any and everything, check us out. We stream anywhere you listen or watch podcasts, or just type No Outlet Live, one word, in your Google search bar to find the show. Live Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. No Outlet Live, your road to boredom ends here. Do you like Tessa? Do you think this will be a date that can last?
Well, she's not very articulate. Guardian Roadside Solutions is ready to help with your roadside emergencies serving the greater Cleveland area. They have the knowledge and experience to get you back on the move quickly with staff available 24/7 to help with flat tires, tire damage, changes, fuel delivery, vehicle lockouts, dead battery, or new battery installs. If you find yourself or someone you know in this situation, call a Guardian at 440-833-6000.
96% of adults go to work hungover the day after a holiday party. New Year's has the worst statistics, with almost 58% of highway deaths being alcohol related. 40% of highway deaths during the holidays are alcohol related. This holiday, stay home, stay at a friend's or a family's house. Be safe this holiday season. Don't drink and drive.
You turned your back, left me helpless and stranded. You turned your back, retracted the hand that you reached out with. This ain't the same world we once grew up in. And I ain't the same person that I once was anymore. Somebody please help me, save me from myself. Tell me eventually everything will be alright. Somebody please help me, save me from myself, and tell me eventually that everything will be alright. I never listen when my heart tells me to run, trapped between the cracks and seams hidden from the sun. I'm going blind. The cost of courage fucking hurts. Sometimes just existing's too hard. The drugs don't work as well anymore. A chain of mud stuck in the backyard. I feel vengeance under my flesh. Free me from this rain. Who can really be counted on to spare us from more pain? So somebody please help me, save me from myself, and tell me eventually that everything will be alright. Somebody please help me, save me from myself, and tell me eventually that everything will be alright. Come on! Your pizza is here!
It ain't delivery. It's the best podcast live on Saturdays.
So I really can't stop thinking about Mary Magdalene. that her enormous vagina is just stuck in my mind now.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I'll take her word for it. And,
I just can't do it.
And I don't want to see any proof. Let's put it that way.
I have to see this proof. I'm gonna be searching all night for this lady's vagina.
Wow, and the irony here is I'm the single one.
Single, in a relationship, engaged, married, it's all the same thing.
Well, why do I have a feeling that comment is going to make some divorce lawyer's day one day?
I don't know. I'm not the marriage type. Could you see yourself getting married?
Well, no, but that's mostly because women find me repugnant.
I mean, there's a lid for every pot.
It's funny. I've been advised to smoke pot.
I really think you should. Hold on, we got a message, another one from Danielle that says, I saw an article. She said her clit looks like lady testicles.
Once again, I will take her word for it.
Oh man, you know what's crazy? Hold on, let me open up this article again, because there was one picture in this where you could kind of see one of the sides of her vagina. Hold on. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. Let's go back to Mary. Let's see Mary one more time. Not this one. Oh, where's this photo at? Not that one, not that one. Right here. Okay. Now, if you look at her vagina over on the side where she's an alien,
I'd rather not.
It is very puffy. I mean, she does have it's weird. It looks like she does have like a ball sack on one side of her jean shorts. Or jorts. On the side of her jorts.
You know, I just thought of another way she could make some money.
What is that? How would she make some more money?
By being hired by criminals to create distractions while they commit whatever crime they intend to commit.
Oh, for sure. You could definitely rob a bank if this lady walks in to distract everybody.
Thanks to real.
Yeah, as in, like, he wouldn't even have to pull out a gun and be like, put all the money in the bag. No, he'd probably be able to get away with walking behind the counter, opening the drawers, and stuffing the money in the bag himself.
Yeah, you could just, like, pay her to walk up and then try to make, like, a withdrawal and then start freaking out. You know what I mean? Like, I know I have more money than that in my account, yada, yada. And cause a scene and people be like, look at this fucking freak of nature right here. Or, not even of nature, this freak of,
Nature would never produce something like that.
This,
you apologize to Mother Nature right now.
I'm sorry, Mother Nature. This freak of laboratory right here.
I mean, okay, you know, now that I've kind of got Batman on the brain, I'm like, Batman, whichever mad scientist genetically engineered that should be, like, bumped up your enemies list.
I mean, that doesn't even look human no more.
Like I said, it was an alien infiltration unit where they got the basic shape of a human being, but they were like, we'd better exaggerate it just to make sure we didn't underplay it. Oh, we overdid it.
Now, you've been in a dry spell. You're telling me right now, if she was offering up that giant pussy to you, you wouldn't dive in? I think I would. I swear, I think I would have to give it a shot, just to have the experience of like, of being able to tell people like, yeah, I had sex with like a full blown monster.
So you've got a bestiality fetish now, is that it?
I guess so. I mean, if I could get my girl to look like that, I'd be one happy man.
And I want to emphasize once again, it's her words in this article that say whatever you want about me that doesn't give you the right to assault me, and she's absolutely right, but we are going to take that first half and the say whatever you want about me and run with it. We pretty much have for the last several minutes.
It's really upsetting to see like the before and after, because before she was like a really cute girl.
And she in the before picture, she kind of looks like my favorite MMA fighter.
Who is that?
Megan Anderson.
I'm not hip to Megan Anderson. Let's check her out.
She's Australian, 6'2".
6'2"? How tall are you? You're like 5'11", 5'10"?
I would kill someone to be 5'10". I'm 5'3", you bastard.
And you want a nice tall girl. Oh, she is a little smoke show, isn't she? Holy moly.
Yeah, and
Megan Anderson is hot, and she'll kick your ass.
And she's a veteran of the Australian Army, and she struggled with depression.
Oh, that's what you want. You want a real damaged girl.
I'm damaged too, you bastard.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Yeah, she...
For being a 6'2" destroyer.
Okay, you erase all of those words after the word cute. She's hot, and no qualifiers needed. I think the before picture of Mary Magdalene looks like Megan Anderson, but without the muscle tone.
Let's see some of Megan Anderson's highlights against Amanda Nunes. Nunes is the champion right now, I think. Hold on, let's skip forward a little bit past all this crap. She's a tall girl. It would be difficult to be in the women's fighting women, and then having a very, very tall chick like that to go up against, because that's freakish for a woman.
Yeah, and now I know I wouldn't have a chance with her or like most of the women on Earth, because I've been turned down for being too short by women that are shorter than me.
You can't sell yourself short too much. No pun intended.
It's not selling myself short. It's accepting a brutal, cold reality.
You can't accept it. She just got her ass kicked right there.
Oh, yes. And, Tom Brady was intercepted a few times when he threw passes, right?
Oh, here she is getting punched out again.
That's not Megan Anderson.
Hip toss. Oh, it's not?
No,
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, they're showing all kinds of Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, so... Okay, the description said highlights from UFC 259, so that was just... So what do you think? Was I right that the before picture looks kind of like Megan, just without...
Kind of.
They even have a similar leg tattoo.
Alright, so I'm looking at pictures of this girl before her surgery. I don't think that's her.
That's not... And do we know what nationality Mary Magdalene is? Oh, wait a minute. I think she's Canadian.
Is she?
Well, okay, that first before picture we were looking at.
Oh, yeah, she's got the Toronto Blue Jays t-shirt.
Yeah, now, but... now that site is from thedailystar.com.
She's an OnlyFans star.
I can believe that, but okay, the Blue Jays shirt doesn't necessarily mean she's Canadian, but it's a clue.
Look at this.
Actually, that article and
this one?
Yeah, I am curious where she's from. I know she has to be American, British, or Canadian. Oh my god, she actually had the full list printed out on a t-shirt.
Oh my god, I've had 3 nose jobs. I don't even know how to say that word. Buccal fat removal.
I can't read the full word from this angle.
2 brow lifts, multiple fat transfers to my face, lost count of all the filler in my lips and cheeks, 2 sets of 20 veneers, so all of her teeth are fake.
Okay, I can understand people wanting to lose fat or being comfortable with it. That's fine, but
they blurred out one of the words. I think that has to do with her pussy or something.
Yeah, but the moving fat from one part of your body to the other, that I just don't get. Not that I get any of the rest of this.
Her vagina stuff, including revisions, lipo multiple times, 3 BBLs,
Do we have any idea what BBLs are? I don't think I want to know, but it's a train wreck.
And look at her whole face is green from surgery or whatever. Lipo, 3 BBLs, butt implants, butt injections. And yes, I'm going to have more surgery, hon. Why? Because I can and I want to. Girl, bye.
Okay, as for the can part, I think that's eventually going to change. As in, some... this reminds me of that Simpsons where Homer found out that he could gain... that if he weighed 300 pounds or more, he'd qualify as disabled and could work from home. And when he went to see... Dr. Hibbert, guess what Dr. Hibbert said? Homer... He said...
Oh, no.
We'll see you next time.
No.
This has been No Outlet Live.
No.
He said, Homer, it is irresponsible and unethical, and I'll have no part in it. And Homer was like, can you recommend a doctor who will? Yes. And then so Homer went to see Dr. Nick. I have a feeling that might have happened with this woman. Like, she went to see... I'm guessing she looked for the best plastic surgeon she could find, and he was like, yeah, this is extremely irresponsible, I'll have no part in it, and then he recommended a less scrupulous one.
I don't know, man. If the money's there, you got to do the job, and addiction comes in so many forms, and that lady's addiction is plastic surgery. That's sad.
I do think though that if she hasn't already gotten there, she's going to hit a point where any more surgery
it'll kill her.
Yeah, and then you get that's when it becomes a problem for a doctor, because
it's unethical practice,
malpractice, and then it could become a case where even if she signs every waiver under the sun, if anything goes wrong, like maybe he doesn't get sued for malpractice, but he gets his license yanked for knowingly operating.
But in that article that we covered, she said that she nearly died on getting her vagina enlarged. She said the doctor had to give her 2 blood transfusions because she was turning so pale and losing so much blood.
Yeah, and
if they're willing to go that far, I don't think anything will stop a doctor.
Okay, nothing stopped that one. I'm kind of hoping the next one will be a little more reluctant.
I just have a feeling that this lady's going to age and she's going to regret all of it when later in life, because I watch a podcast for you know Dr. Drew. You remember him from TV, right?
Oh yeah, he was a co-host on MTV's Love Line, that call-in dating advice show. Yeah, he's been called out for diagnosing patients that he's never met.
Yeah, well, now he does disclaimers. He's like, hey, I am a professional medical guy or whatever. But I was watching a podcast of his recently, and he said that women with fake breasts, later on in their life, when you become older, you have to have them removed no matter what, because it becomes a serious health hazard.
I'll take his word for it, not in a I don't want to know case like I am with most of Mary Magdalene's claims, but in the he's a doctor, so yeah, I trust his expertise.
I'm actually, now that I think about it, he has a hotline and you can leave voicemails. I think I'm going to leave him a voicemail about this Mary Magdalene chick, and just to see his, what he thinks about that. I'm sure he has to be like, he might not even be familiar with this lady.
And then I'll bet he'll wish he was unfamiliar with her after he sees it.
He's seen a lot worse on his podcast. You'd be surprised the stuff this guy sees.
Well, either way, I would still like to have a camera on him to capture his facial reaction the moment he sees pictures of that woman.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, and I'll show it to you. I'm gonna call probably tomorrow and leave them a voicemail on their show, and then when you come over next week, we'll look at it before the show and decide whether or not we should play it on the show.
Wait, so
on our show.
So how do you know we'll be able to get his reaction?
Because it's a podcast on YouTube.
And he responds to everything?
No, but if it's worthy of, it's a shot in the dark.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure like the producers and everything on the show, they go through everything and see what's worthy of it, and they're gonna look up this Mary Magdalene chick and totally be in on it.
Okay, so you have to leave a voicemail. That's the method of...
Yeah, that's the only way I think you can contact him for his show.
Okay, I was gonna recommend sending a picture directly, but it looks like that's not an option.
Well, I might be able to. I'll have to watch their show and see if I could contact any other way.
Oh, can you imagine if aliens are watching Earth, which we think there's a strong possibility they are, if they've seen it, I wonder if it's like throwing off all their perceptions of humanity.
Yeah, they think we're all like that.
No. They might be like, Mr. Science Minister? Yes, we believe the humans are starting to mutate into this new species. Yes, we've only been able to find a few examples, but I recommend we put all the other initiatives on hold until we can identify the source of this mutation.
Is that a midget or a child?
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. We can't tell them apart anymore.
So you got any big plans for the rest of your weekend?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow I can't decide whether to hit the bag or lift.
I'm going to just decide for you, lift.
Yeah, I probably will.
I think you need to deadlift 450 pounds and get it on video.
Well, I have pushed a 400-pound weight sled, and I already have that on video.
You pushed a 400-pound weight sled?
Yeah.
Man, you are one little power-packed bundle of joy.
In fact, if you give me a minute, I can find I put on one of my fitness Facebook groups a video of me doing that.
You need to submit that into the email, and then next week we'll play you pushing 400 pounds. You'll move a big man.
Yeah, that I can. Yeah.
Like the mountain off of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. My only interest in that show is that the women are attractive, and I've never actually watched an episode.
Holy moly, you gotta watch that show, man. The Mother of Dragons. Woo! That's one of the hottest chicks on TV.
Emilia Clarke, yes.
Holy moly, that chick's hot. And she's like naked throughout half of that show.
Memo to England. I would like to thank you for, among other things, sending us Emilia Clarke. We appreciate her immensely. We're a little bit annoyed with her for Terminator Genesis. On the other hand, nobody could have saved that one, so no. Yeah, we won't hold that one against her.
And with that being said, this has been No Outlet Live. We will catch you guys next week. Always check out the show anywhere that you want to find it. You can watch us on Spotify, watch us on YouTube. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on the iHeartRadio app. You can find our show, CastBox, Anchor FM, many more different places. We're brought to you by Flat House Press and Flat House Press right here, and Guardian Roadside Solutions right over there. Call Guardian if you're stuck on the road at 440-833-6000. They could give you help with any of your vehicle needs, detailing, towing, battery repair, all kinds of good stuff. And we'll see you next week. Peace. Call me Uncle. That's damn right.
That dude doesn't look white.
Stay tuned. No Outlet Live. We'll be right back. We'll see you next time. This has been No Outlet Live.